Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to FDI Takeover.
I'm your co-host, Karen Ryan.
And I'm Alex Smith. Peace and love.
Positive vibes only.
We are so excited. This is our episode 2. Yes. And we can't wait to be serving you all with some amazing, incredible, hopefully motivational information for you. FDI is an important term that everyone needs to adopt, which is what, Karen?
Fucking do it.
Do it. Like, that's the whole reason why we created this podcast.
Just do it. It's do it. We came up with fucking do it because, well,
we're always saying it.
We're always saying it.
We're always like
basically both like Italian women, like in the workforce.
You see a lot of
like,
hands.
A lot of hands going on. A lot of Italian heritage here. But yeah, we are just do it. So adapting that term, fucking do it. Just do it. Stop holding back.
Yes.
You're holding yourself back. Don't be afraid. Life is meant to live in the most beautiful way of making everything happen for you to your fullest potential.
Exactly. And the whole idea around FDI and taking over is about you being able to take charge of your own life. Hopefully we can give you some tools, tips, maybe some life experiences that will help navigate that journey for you. But at the end of the day, we want this to be empowering. We want you to walk away from this and feel like you can fucking do it and make it happen.
We want you to like enjoy your life, enjoy each day to the
That's
fullest
really
maximum.
what it's all about.
That's what it's about. Life, like when we're together, just in certain life, and both of our life circumstances, but just being together, like we find like the beauty in every single day, right? And it's just living your life to the best that you can, not living in a bubble, not pretending, but giving you the tools that you can take out of your little toolbox, your mental health toolbox, to like help you get through a certain situation. And looking forward to learning from us as we proceed and educating you to just living your life the best you can.
And it's a process. That's the whole idea of this journey, even with this podcast, is to talk about the process. You can't just wake up and be like, okay, I'm fucking doing it. Well, really, you should. It starts with that because it does start with deciding.
So you got to make that decision first.
You got to make the decision.
Yeah,
but really, the whole idea is that you have to understand that it's going to be a process for you to get yourself to that place. And we're hoping that people who are listening are in that process or maybe needing a little bit more of a push to discover or not necessarily sure which way to navigate it. But anyways, let's get into a little bit more about us, just so you can get to know us, because this is going to be such a journey. But
Alex,
yes,
I want to ask you, what the heck have you been doing the last 10 years in the technology business?
Okay.
Background.
It's a very good question, Karen.
Yes.
So I have worked in high growth technology startups all over the country for the last 10 years, and I am a woman in sales leadership, and I'm very proud of that. I hope to inspire and guide and support other women who are also looking to have a career in sales, because truly I have learned to absolutely love it. And sales is pretty interesting in a lot of different ways, right? I've studied the psychology of selling. I've studied the art of negotiation. Little fun fact about me, I, went to school at the University of Alabama, and I got a full ride scholarship for a speech and debate team.
Yes!
So surprise, surprise, guess I'm a little chatty, and I found my way through sales and that. But truly, I love teaching people the art of persuasion. I love empowering people to live their best life, and sales allows you a opportunity to do that. So because most of the money that you earn is based off of what you put into it, I love to empower people that I've hired or worked with over the years to create their dream life. And you can do that when you make a commitment to sales or really anything. But this has been my kind of way around the world, and I'm super passionate, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, love that. It's so encouraging to hear you say that, because so many women in the workforce get caught up in not thinking that they're good enough or that they're powerful enough to do it. We are powerful to do everything, whether you have a degree or not. So I, coming from a very entrepreneurial background, and as we know, I went to Columbia College in Chicago, actually on Michigan Avenue, and I went into broadcasting. Believe it or not, I was studying broadcasting and journalism with a background in English and some psychology. So hence here I am today. I have found myself throughout the years in every single one of like the career paths that I took to only amplify who I am as a person. And I do make up my own makeup words. So if they're not on Google, I've made them up and it's good. That's like one of my things. But I literally am excited to be at a point in my life where I know whatever I want, it's always selling myself. I'm selling the trust and the value of who I am in every single one of my businesses that I have. So
it's so important for everybody to learn how to sell.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sell yourself.
Exactly. And to understand some of those fundamental, components.
But we do that in relationships. We do that in life. You're always selling yourself. You're selling your best version of who you are by presenting truthfully and unapologetically, authentically who you are. Just be you. So just fucking do it by being yourself every single day. And we have a lot of struggles that are going to come up, but it is what it is. I mean...
Yes. And you know how it is too. You're a female entrepreneur. You own multiple businesses.
Yeah.
Just in general, being a woman, selling yourself, there's so many different things that we deal with. Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
All the time, feeling like we are not good enough or feeling like we don't deserve this position or this level of income or whatever it may be. But, I want to encourage more women to absolutely take that stand for what it is that they deserve and understand their self-worth a little bit more. And I'm sure you've had to go through that so many different times owning multiple businesses.
Yes, I have. So in 2016, I literally left corporate America. It was a Good Friday. I took the 2 pictures.
Everybody's just like praying for that, by the way. Like, that day where I just walk out of the building and I'm going to do what I want.
Oh, I want to do what I want. Like at 3:00, we're out of here. And I took my 2 photographs I had of my 4 kids, took my 2 pictures off. I had a coffee cup, something, and I just walked out. I said, I quit. And everyone was like, oh my gosh. I said, not coming back. Yes. Send me my check or don't send it to me. And my 401k, email it to me. I'm out of here. And I left in 2016.
Karen.
Yes.
Breaking necks and cashing checks.
Doing it. Out of here. Yes. Left. And the next thing I knew, I was called fun employed by my daughters. They're fun employed. And my son, you're fun employed. I said, I'm just doing my own thing. And I was living my own life, building my yoga business, my meditation business, taking it to the next level, back into my supplements and health and wellness. And just everything led me. There goes my hands. Just going to where I needed to be. But I'm telling you, I'm not encouraging anybody to take the risks that I have taken in life, but I am a highly motivated person that I know I love the challenge and I love whatever's being presented to me will never break me. I will redeem myself. I will manifest exactly what I want and I will accomplish it.
Karen, I love that. You also inspire me so much. I'm single. I'm 32. I don't have any kids. I'm not dating. I'm not married, nothing. So it's, and I think about my capacity to be able to manage things. But when I hear you and, when you were 32, kids on the hip, running your businesses, doing that, I feel like that's such an important part of who you are.
I had my 3 daughters. So my son, Michael, was 32. He was 1 year old. 1 year old. Probably nursing him at the time. And by the way, y'all, I'm 52. Yes, 52 years old.
God, she looks good.
Embracing that. No, thanks, Alex. Yeah. No, I had Michael on my hip.
So beautiful.
I love you. I had the girls. They were 12, 10, and 8. And yeah, Michael's just a little guy. And my ex-husband and I, we had an ATM business, a construction business. I was always hustling by some network marketing company. I was Girl Scout leader of 3 Girl Scout troops teaching Sunday school. And let me tell you, if I had a little bit too much fun on Saturday night, I still showed up at church in the morning to teach those kids. So it's always about serving, giving back, but the motivation that comes within is the desire and the passion to live. And no matter what happens, I just know I'm here for a reason. I'm here on a mission, and I'm here to be embraced within my talents and my God-given gifts and to be connected with people. So I just want to put a little plug in how you and I met. Here we are.
Oh, it's
9 months later. Story. 9 months later.
Should we tell it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's tell it. So I'm just going to start it with, it was Halloween season, and I was dating someone, and Alex was dating someone, and I was Wonder Woman, and she was a mermaid. Yeah.
I was a mermaid, and we were at a pretty crazy party. And at that point, I was just looking for any sort of normalcy. And I just met Karen, and I was like, hello, are you normal? And she's like, oh my God, yes. And I was like, oh my God, me too. We got
follow me on Instagram.
Yeah. And then we were just talking about all the things that we were super passionate about, which is mental health and wellness and spirituality and God, all these other things that kind of make up who we are,
yes.
Running our own businesses, being female, empowerment, entrepreneurs, owners, the whole 9.
Yeah.
And we have so much in common too, because, our age difference, she's 52, I'm 32. And we are just meeting in this world. And the energy was so electric. And so no doubt we ended up being friends. The guys are no longer around. God bless you. We love you. But, you know,
send you positive vibes.
Yeah, we're moving on. But I'm so grateful, though, that we were able to be connected. And it's just a nice reminder, too, that you never know what's going to happen. You never know what the universe is going to bring you. The people that are brought into your life,
Who you know, are there.
Yes. But the thing is I think we were able to meet each other because we were both open. And so many of us lived such a closed life. We walk around and we think that, I know, especially here in our culture in America, which is not like other places in the world. And I've traveled all around the world.
Yes, you
have. So
have.
I have a little bit of perspective here and there.
A lot of perspective.
I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know everything. So let's just say that.
But you know what you know.
And I just think that here, you know, we have a tendency to walk around with a chip on our shoulder because that's just what we're used to. You know, if we grew up or we have been working for a long time in city lives, we're used to seeing, you know, homeless people and walking around and people looking like they're almost like dead on the side of the street, which is insane. You know, but we get numb to these kind of things in our society, which is something that I'm hoping to break the cycle a little bit more. You can help in some way. Like, don't think that you need to rewire your whole life and give up everything, but there are ways that we can all contribute in this world from a love and compassion and generosity standpoint, but that starts with our spirit.
Spot on, or spirit within. So, going to get a little spiritual on everyone here and just bear with me and think about this as an entity of who you are. So, we're brought into this world. We all come into the world through our mother, and that's the only way a human being can be born. But where were you before you were born, and where are you after you've passed? It's the spirit. Your spirit is your intuition. So when you have that gut feeling, that's your spirit. That's who you are. When you hear voices in your head that are like, oh, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. They always talk about the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Mm-hmm. That's your spirit.
Yes.
That's your inner self. So breaking the numbness, we all become numb, and sometimes we become so entitled. And being an American, when people talk about like just privilege in general, we are Americans. We have the privilege of freedom. And a lot of people come from different countries. Personally, my grandfather came here from Italy. I'm first generation Italian.
Is that where you got the hands from?
So I got the hands from. The hands and the endless what appetite. I could eat. I'm thinking about tacos right now. So I love food. No, I got the hands and all that from my grandpa and my dad, but they came here and they naturalized themselves as Americans, and I thought I had dual citizenship. So I'm like, we're going to Italy, guys. We're just dual citizenship. No, they were so proud to be Americans. There's a pride in being who you are, but your spirit lives on. So when you think about your spirit, I'll never forget this, Alex. My mother told me when I was 7 years old, she's like, Karen, don't ever let anyone blow out your light or take the light away from you. And I thought about that, and later on during therapy, I thought to myself, well, I've got this light. I have this brightness about me that I can't explain. It's an intense energy within me that is very overwhelming for people, but I don't let people blow that light out anymore. They can't dim my light. And I learned that with now having literally diagnosed ADD finally. We all know.
I understand.
Yeah. Alex always has my back. But no, with my ADD, it's so funny because I can really relate to people that think I'm too much, but I'm just being me. So I know when I have to learn how to channel it down, but not numb myself to it, because who I am is what you're going to get. I'm not changing for anybody. I'm going to be myself.
Yeah, and there's power in taking back some of those words. I've been told constantly that I can be too much. I've been told a lot that I'm too nice and things like that. That's why I find myself in certain situations. And, I am so proud of those two things. And we have to reclaim some of those things that people have told us that maybe in the past at certain points have put us down, because they actually are the things that make us unique and make us special. And the right people, places, things will all come together because of that unique gift that we have. Yes. So that's a whole other area where we want to encourage people. If you've heard you're too much, you're too this, you're too that, too nice, too that, you have to lean into the positive side of it, because for every single, negative, there's a positive. This is a yin and yang kind of situation. And you always want to look at things a little bit more holistically and understand the opportunity as a whole, right? Yeah. So I am so excited to actually get into this topic for today. So In our last episode, we shared that we have surveyed some of our family and friends. And what we did was, in spirit of this podcast about encouraging people to fucking do it, we asked them some deep questions that they're likely not asking themselves every day or being asked in general. So we have the answers that are sitting in the bowl of what we asked. And the question that we have for today is, Karen, you have to do the honors and pick the first one. All right. So the question is, what does it take to be your full, authentic self?
Okay.
So I'm going to read that one more time. What does it take to be your full, authentic self?
Well, I pulled it out. Looking in the mirror.
Love a good conversation with yourself in the mirror.
Literally. So I was seeing a therapist about 3 years ago, and she said to me, you need to look yourself in the mirror. You're hiding from the person you really are.
No, physically though, right?
Physically.
Literally stand in front of the mirror.
No, physically. This is the mirror, and you look at yourself in the mirror with your eyes and just staring at it. Okay, don't ever want to see my notes, but just staring. Just look yourself straight in the eyes and look deep into your pupils. Look deep into your eyes. There becomes this warmness over your body. You start to feel a sensation of energy. You're staring yourself in the eyes. You cannot lie to yourself. And that's the thing, Alex. People want to put on this, it's almost like a costume. Like you're putting something on, you're trying to be somebody that you're not. You are who you are. Present yourself to yourself first so that you're presentable to other people. That's huge. Present yourself to yourself so you're presentable to other people. Tell yourself the truth. We all lie. People don't want to admit that they lie. People don't want to admit they do a lot of things, but who are you really lying to? Am I trying to impress you with the way I dress or the way I look or the car I'm driving or what I do for a career or whatever title I have? Am I trying to impress you or am I trying to do my very best and living my best life? Okay. So looking yourself in the mirror is literally, it's an exercise. And I've taught this to several of my clients throughout the years. You're going to stand in front of the mirror, whether it's, your bathroom mirror or a mirror in your bedroom, but you have to stand straight and you have to allow your arms just to fall to your side. You just have to look at yourself and start to take your hands out almost in front of you. You can open them up to receive energy. Just look at yourself. You might cry, and if you do, that could be really a bonus to this exercise. But look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you.
Yes.
And repeat that. I love you. 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 You start to feel the compassion and the humbleness and the gratitude from within yourself. And once you get to a place like that where you truly love yourself, you know your self-worth.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's such a beautiful exercise. And it's also hard for us to do because, many of us obviously battle with our own self-confidence. So sometimes looking in the mirror is extremely difficult. It's one of the most difficult exercises you can actually do for yourself is looking in the mirror, but it's a necessary part to understanding who you are authentically and fully inside. And when it comes to, what does it take to be your full authentic self, even metaphorically, other than the physical side that you just talked about, you have to be having that conversation with yourself in the mirror. Are you actually doing the things that you preach? That is a big thing.
Yes.
There are so many people that talk the talk, but when it comes down to implementing or doing the actions to make their dreams a reality, to make their relationship to the fruition that it needs to be, whatever it may be, are you actually having a conversation with yourself about the things that you might need to change or evolve or work on in order to fulfill? Where is the discipline that's involved in that? And you can't run away from the conversation with yourself, not ever, which is why a lot of us avoid that. And at the end of the day, if you're not having that conversation with yourself, you are actually never going to be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve.
No, that is so true because you've got to face up to the problem within yourself. You got to look at yourself and say,
so easy to blame everything else externally all the time.
Blame everybody around you.
It feels easy. It feels good. It feels natural.
Well, take accountability, right? Take accountability. We could blame others. Hey, he said this, she said that, this happened, that happened. All right, we'll take accountability. Why did you allow that? Why did you accept it? Why didn't you change it? Why didn't you stand up? Why didn't you say something? Make the change. You are the change. You have to know your self-worth as you are worthy of everything and anything. When you don't tell yourself the truth, how many of us out there, let me ask you all this question, how many of you Go out. You want to go on a vacation. So you're going to escape for a week and go on your vacation. Leave everything behind. No big deal. Come back to your same problems. You're running from the reality of what's really happening. Stop running. Stand still. Take a few breaths. Enjoy the moment and face the real truth, which is yourself. That's what looking in the mirror is all about.
Yeah. I've been a runner personally. I've moved around a lot. I've lived all over the world. I've lived all over the U.S. And I got really comfortable with running away from my own challenges and issues. And it's only recently, within the last 2 years, that I've been doing so much self-work. I mean, the self-work never stops.
No.
But really, I'm really starting to resonate with this particular thing that you said, which is to stop running from it and be rooted in it and go through it and experience it and see it through. See yourself through in this situation. Know and understand that everything that you're going through is a process and there is another side to how you're feeling.
Always.
And we don't like to do things that don't feel good.
Oh,
It's not going to feel great. Spoiler alert. To have a conversation with yourself in the mirror is not going to be all that fun.
we get stuck in complacency. We are complacent. We are comfortable where we're at. Because why? It's what we know. It's the familiar. Well, what about the unfamiliar? Being a runner, funny story. I think I was 12 and I ran away from home. I ran out of the house and into the garage. And back then there were no cell phones, so it is what it is.
Far distance, huh?
Yeah, far distance. But I was like, I'm running away. So I ran out. I had some snacks. I was in the garage for I had a little Mickey Mouse watch. I was watching the watch. I'm like, it's like 30 minutes. It's really dark in here. I'm really tired. It's kind of summer, kind of hot. I'm going to go back in. So I went back in, but I'm truly a runner, like run until I finally realized that the running is like, it's all in my head. I can control that. I can get to where I want to be. And, I learned later on in life, manifesting or like having these visions, or people do dream boards and things like that. When you write something down out of your mind, it becomes concrete on paper. So that's where the process of journaling came in. And that's where my desire for writing my book came in, and that's where my desire for putting on paper what I'm feeling in my head to release what's going on mentally and allowing it to be concrete here gives me more room for growth and gives me less time for running and more time for being present in the moment.
I love that.
Yeah.
One last thing that I'll say about looking in the mirror, just because it's such an incredible experience
Yes.
that I had. So there was a point in my life where I decided that I was going to quit my job in Manhattan, sell my things, and buy a one-way ticket to Brazil.
Yes.
Brazil. I had so much fun. Yes.
Yes,
And-
Alex.
But at the time, here I am, young in New York City, making, money, doing really well, and deciding that wasn't going to work for me. Like, if that was it,
Wow.
I was okay with being done with it.
Wow.
I knew that I had to explore something else. I didn't need to go to another brunch or another nice dinner in New York or club or whatever. I was yearning for something so different. And I will never forget that I kept myself busy by doing the actions to make it happen, right? I was planning for 8 months, saving all my money, not telling anybody what I was up to. I was like, where are you? And I was just like, just planning. And my big
future.
escape or my running, whatever. And I will never forget the day before I was getting on the plane to go to Brazil and embark on this solo journey abroad for a year through South America, that I had my backpack on and I had my gear and I had my flashlight on my side and my little knife on the other side just in case and all of that. And I was looking in the mirror with all of my gear and I started bawling my eyes out.
Yes.
I was crying. I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I don't speak the language. I was taking classes, by the way. I don't speak un poco Portuguese. But I was taking classes and I had an intention in mind, but I was having this conversation with myself in the mirror. And I remembered saying back to myself, Alex, you don't have to have all the answers right now, but you have to do it.
Yes.
You have to fucking do it. I was totally being called spiritual. And that's the thing. We have to tap into the things that we're being called to do, and we have to do it.
Yes.
And looking in the mirror is one way to activate
that power within you. We are so powerful. We are human beings. The power lies within us. There are so many quotes and so many phrases out there, but the power is within you. You can make the change. You can make the difference for yourself. And facing yourself in the mirror, reflecting on you. There was something I was going to say really quick. It was about deflection. When people say things to you, you're too nice, you've maybe gained some weight, you look kind of sad, this and that. That's their deflection of what they're feeling on themselves. to you. But
Yes.
when you're looking in the mirror, it's your reflection of your whole entity, your whole beautiful self, because every single one of us was created in love, in light, and in beauty. And we have to embrace that. Beauty is not the outside of us. The beauty comes from within. Your compassion, your resilience, your determination, your motivation, your inspiration. Who are you to be placed in this world to serve others? That's a question for you. And I want to encourage everyone to get a notebook. I bought these, just ran to the dollar store actually, got some little composition books, but start journaling your thoughts when you're feeling frustrated and you're happy, or you have running thoughts or anything. Why am I doing this? What's going on? Start journaling, start reflecting from that mirror image of yourself to reflecting your thoughts on paper. It really is a process that helps you to become more in tune with yourself.
Which is exactly what this question is all about.
Yeah.
What does it take to be your full, authentic self? Let's do this. Okay.
What are you getting?
I'm mixing it up.
Okay, dun, dun,
Okay, let's see.
dun,
Oh,
dun,
gosh,
dun,
I've got like
dun,
3.
dun.
Dropping the dead weight. Whoever answered this within the survey is really good. What does it take to be your full, authentic self? Dropping the dead weight. You have to get rid of people who are holding you back from living your true happiness and true potential.
Amen.
And we have so many people that we encounter that are not necessarily in the same place as we are. And that's fine. We're always going to be at different levels and going through different experiences within our life. But the reality is that you will always be limited in what you want to achieve for yourself if you are carrying people and things around you that love to be miserable.
Misery loves company.
Yes, it does.
And it thrives because when you think about it, in order to be
negativity, all of that.
In order to be happy and positive, it takes effort, right?
Yes.
What effort does it take to be negative? There's no effort. It's just complaining, being burdened, being miserable. I'm going to say this. You're not ready for this, but I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Watching the news. Stop watching the news.
Yes.
I have to say that out loud. It's
really
been placed in my heart.
important.
You need to educate yourself. You can research all you want, but when you are watching something so negative, let's praise the things that are good too.
It's important to be aware.
Awareness is huge.
Of course, but you need to be really strategic about your sources.
Thank you. Exactly.
And you have to be mindful about everything that you are consuming because we live in a day and age of consumption.
Yeah.
Everything from social media. There's always technology serving us, whatever it is that they want us to see. And that has an effect on your spirit.
It does. And having that effect on your spirit then has the effect on who you're surrounding yourself with and who you need to let go of.
Yes.
Just
and this
dropping
is a hard
the dead
one.
weight. Alex, I have a quick question for you. I know that you work out. You work out in the gym regularly, and you're doing your thing, and I'm so proud of you with everything that you're doing. But when you think about like dead weight, it's almost like deadlifting, like like you're dead weight lifting, like you're lifting everything up. If you feel how heavy the weights are, feel how heavy it is to carry the burden of somebody who's so negative in your life along with you, because it's chipping away at you, right?
Yes. I mean, I was in a relationship for 4 years, and while that person was such an amazing part of my journey and growth and everything, it just got to a point, and I think we've all been there in relationships, where it gets negative. It gets heavy. Some person is going through something. You're not necessarily on the same page. We only want to see that person overcome that hardship. But the reality is that if we are on a path of positivity and trying to turbocharge hardship into progress, into art, unfortunately, we have to let people and places and things go in order to move on, which is such a hard part of this process. It's not easy, even from a family member perspective. So my biological mother, unfortunately, we don't have this great relationship. She has suffered from mental health and addiction issues her entire lifetime. And I say that with a lot of awareness. And it's important for me to understand that I had to consciously choose not to have a relationship with my mother. And a lot of people would be like, oh, how could you do that? That's your mother. This is that. And it's a very hard concept, right? Because I'm sure, thinking about that as a mother of 4.
Yes.
But I had to do what was best for me in order for me to live out my full potential and be happy. And every time that this person came into my life, regardless of it being my mother or my family, it was causing me stress. It was causing me illness. I would literally get physically ill by the stress and the back and forth of worrying about where she was, what was happening, her state of, mental health or her conditioning with her addiction issues. And I had to make a choice to drop it. And of course, my life improved when I made that decision. Doesn't mean that it's not hard every single day. Exactly. And it doesn't mean that I don't have moments, but you have to consciously make these choices, whether it's family, people that you love deeply. You can want the best for someone, but them not be a good person to be in your life.
I can relate on that into so many levels, which we're having many podcasts coming up, so there'll be many subjects that we'll be discussing, but especially on mental health. I come from a very abusive background in my family, and I don't share that as much, but I'm opening up now to the world that I come from a very emotional, physical, mentally abusive background. And for me to be as positive as I am throughout my lifetime, friends and family have been like, how would you do this, Karen? How are you so positive? Again, going back to spirituality, it's who I am inside me. I just have this positive gratitude of attitude. That's just me. It's innately, it runs in my veins. However, during distressful times, there was a tragedy that happened in my family. Just going to say it. My son took his life in May of 2020, and 18 and a half years old, Michael decided that his mental health issues were so huge, which they were, that this was the most peace he could find. And 2 of my daughters did not speak to me. My heart was broken. I wasn't able to talk to 2 of my daughters, but for their own mental health, they disconnected from me so that they could move forward in their own personal journey of healing. And for that, as a mom and as a nurturer and as a person who I am, I respected that. I did not reach out when they told me not to, and when it was time, I did. It was a healing process for all of us, and now we all have the most amazing relationship. But when you know what's best for yourself, that's what's important. Not pleasing your mom. So I know what you're talking about when you say that. You're not trying to please your mom. You're trying to find your way and to love yourself and get through the situation regardless what it is. Not blaming, but taking the situation at hand for what it is. And I believe that when we truly allow ourselves to disconnect and drop the dead weight, I can honestly say I was dead weight to my daughters, crying and upset and in this, torrential rain of emotions in my life that was heavy on them. They were like, We got to back it up, Mom. We got to back it up, right? Back it up. I'm on the back seat. I'm good. Maybe they threw me in the trunk. I don't know, but I was fine. I came back kicking and screaming, and it's all good now. But yeah, you need to do the best for what's for you.
And that is so important. You have to do what's best for you. And that also means that any time that you are not doing what your heart truly desires, that is a disservice and a negative to your own self-love.
Yes.
You are acting not in self-love when you continue to say yes and to do things and to live a life that you don't want to live.
How about this? You're acting inappropriately to yourself. Stop being inappropriate to yourself. Be appropriate to your true value of who you are.
And I guess the reality is it just doesn't have to be that way.
No. You can make the change.
Yes. Okay, you got to do this
next one. Next one. Yay. Okay, let's see what I pick
what
here.
does it take to be your full, authentic self?
Learning to think for yourself. Learning to think for yourself. Wait, it's the emoji. It's the emoji.
Yeah, I know.
Learning to think for yourself. How many times do we give permission and allow other people to make decisions for ourselves?
Influence all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Learning to think for yourself is one of the most powerful things that you can do in this day and age, especially because we live in an age of distraction. We live in an age of technology, an age of consumption where everyone is telling us how we should feel, act, and move in every area of our life. Even unconsciously, it's happening, right? Through technology and through media. Learning to think for yourself is one of the most important things that we can do generationally, especially the younger generation. So important. And I think that it's through perspective that you can learn to think for yourself. And I think that we have to seek out different perspectives. We have to seek out opportunities in which we can gain a different perspective. we have to be open and willing to receive that. I personally have traveled a lot, and I always find that that's been one of the most life-changing experiences that make me who I am, because it's given me perspective, and it's allowed me to cut through the noise and decide for myself what it is that I'm going to choose to attach to my own mental health, what it is that I'm going to choose mentally to invest myself in. I don't want to be a victim of consumption. And you have to learn to cut through that noise.
Yes. And again, coming back to like dropping the dead weight. So talking about the consumption of influence, people influence us every day. It could be watching a commercial or an ad or something in your life telling you how you should be living your life. I have been told over and over, Karen, you should have a 9-to-5 job. Well, you know what, babe? I've had 9-to-5 jobs, okay?
It didn't work.
It didn't work. I can't sit still. They think I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot have a 9-to-5 job. I mean, if I had to for some reason, I'm sure I could muddle through it and make it work, but it shouldn't be like the boss or get in charge or invest in it. I don't know. But it's like, I've been told you need to get a 9-to-5 job. You need to do this. You need to do that. When I was raising my children as a single mom, it was not easy. And I was in a suburban area where everybody was married, and I stopped getting invited to parties because I was the single mom. They didn't want me to come. I didn't have a boyfriend. I made my kids my priority. It's like the influences that people put on us, and then we start to think things about ourselves, and it changes our perspective, and it gets all clogged up and crazy, and we start to decipher these different things about ourselves. The truth of the matter, the fact is that you're your biggest influence. You are who you are 100%. Just believe in who you are. Have accountability for yourself and stop being influenced by other people. Because there's another thing I would say. I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, because what I think about myself is my true self. I'm caring, I'm loving, I'm pure. The name Karen means pure. I'm a pure soul, and I give with intention and full light and love. And if you don't like me, that's on you. I'm not here to please you. I'm here to serve you and to help empower you to your highest potential of whatever gift I have within me. And if I don't really care what people think about me, because I know I'm doing the best I can.
That's amazing. I'm sure it's taken some time to get to that point.
52 years. Yeah, it's a long time.
52 years. Okay, yeah. So it didn't happen overnight, by the way. Yeah. But that's amazing. And I think that when it comes to thinking for yourself, I know so many women are also dealing with this too, right? We, for such a long time, have been told to act a certain way, to be a certain way, raise your kids a certain way. Otherwise, you're not a good mother. And I just think that this is something that as women, we have a long way to go on this particular topic of learning how to think for ourselves, because we're still dealing with so much adversity just because of our gender. And I know a lot of, other, people from different communities are experiencing the same. So this is going to be one that I'm excited to actually survey to all of you and get more of your opinion around, what are ways in which that we can continue to think for ourselves, because I would love to hear this from other people. What are ways that we can learn to think for ourselves, because I think we all need help with this.
Oh, we all do. I mean, we are here.
I have the answer.
No, we're here. We're being bold. We're being brave. We are standing up for our mission and our passion to help people. We don't have all the answers. We're learning every day. Every day is a new progression to the next level, to the highest potential of who we're supposed to be. So
yes.
that's it.
Would love people to drop some ideas in the comments.
Yes.
So we would super appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, let's see I think we have two left.
All right.
Yes. Okay, so what does it take to be your full authentic self? Confidence and trust have to have these two things.
Hashtag all that.
Hashtag all of that. Yes. But confidence is an interesting one, because we hear and throw this word around a lot. We're confident, this, that. Social media makes it look like every single one of us is confident. And true confidence does not come from any sort of validation from other people. True confidence does not come from validation from anybody else.
It does not. It comes from within you.
It comes from the pride and the work that you do and your intention and how you choose to live this life. It comes from the investment that you have in your own self-love. And it does have to do with trusting. We have to be able to surrender in order for us to receive.
You've taught me that, to surrender. You have taught me how to surrender.
Teaching myself always.
Yes, but you're like, just surrender, Karen, just surrender your feelings, and there's been time, there's a lot that I hold on to myself, and I have these high expectations and, the fear of failure, whatever it might be, but you're like, just surrender. And as a yoga meditation, guru, coach, I know this. I can perform this for other people, but when it comes to myself and letting go and surrendering, you've taught me how to do that. And it's still a work in progress. However, surrendering who you are to yourself, trusting yourself. Nobody can break a trust with you if you're so solid within yourself. So let's just take, for instance, let's just say I met a new friend. I just met somebody new. We're always looking for new friends, right? We're always looking for new humans to meet, connect with. Yeah. So I made a new friend, and we start sharing about each other's lives. There have been so many times I've met people, and they're just bragging on themselves. I've got this, I've got that, I do this, I do that, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Didn't ask for your credentials. Didn't ask for your resume.
But projecting, but overcompensating.
Right. To try to impress.
Fine line.
Huge fine line.
You can have confidence all day long, sure, but subjective to, are your actions actually matching up with your intention?
Right.
Actions without intentions do not equal real outcomes. It does not equal real things like confidence or trust or anything of that nature. And don't get me wrong, there's something to be said for faking it till you make it.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can only do that so long because you cannot run from yourself.
You can't. So building that trust within yourself to believe who you are how's it go? For I am, I will. It's like, who I am, I can get this done because I have the trust within myself. I'm not looking for you to validate my trust. I'm not looking for you to give me influence. I'm not looking for you to love me and accept me. It has to come within. And once it comes from within, everything's possible. My life is a true testimony to that. I don't stop at anything. I fucking do everything I want to do with intention, with love, with light. I don't put up with anything. I keep moving forward. You
can't expect anything to really happen if you don't believe in yourself.
And take action. But Take action. And Alex, there's a lot of help out there too. People need to understand that if you're confused or nervous or unafraid, like a little bit afraid or unsure, you can obviously look for help. There are people that are here to help and guide us. But at the end of the day, when you lay your head on your pillow at night, are you really being true to yourself? If you are, and you said no to somebody, or you made a boundary, or you changed something in your life, or you started a positive good habit or stopped a bad habit, you're living your true self.
Yeah. I love that. Take this last one. Let's
All right.
do it.
Get so passionate about everything.
I know.
I just love it. Okay, so our question is,
what does it take to be your full authentic self?
This is a great one for me. I have chills because I have two people in mind, you and one of my daughters. Being comfortable in your own skin.
Whew.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to say this to you, and I just want you to accept what I'm saying because it's the truth. You are one of the most powerful human beings I've ever met in my entire life. Not just a woman, but as a human being. You project so much energy and so much light and so much love, so much wherewithal within yourself that you're bold, you're brave, you're beautiful, and you're still human, okay? And out of all my daughters, there's one in particular that I think of who exactly amplifies. It's Danielle. I'm just going to say it's my Danielle. She's very much like you. And the best thing about the both of you is that you're fearless. You pick up, you go to Europe. You pick up, you do this. You become, what do you call it? Minimalistic in your life. Minimize everything and just do whatever you want to do because it just fucking makes sense to you at the time. You're living in your true moment. But being comfortable in your own skin, I want to talk about that, especially having a background in health and wellness. People look at you from the outside, and I've had so many people throughout my life say, I'm too skinny. Why are you so skinny? Oh my gosh, you're skinny, you're this, you're that. All right, don't point out the obvious. It is what it is. I wouldn't go up to somebody and say anything particular to them. Being comfortable in the God-given body that you've been given. Weight can go up and down. You can change it, change your hair color. Men can do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But being comfortable in your own skin is being comfortable with the human being that you are.
Yes.
On the levels of gratitude, motivation, inspiration, just developing into the person that you were meant to be. What are your ethics? What are your morals? What are your values? Who are you? What do you give to other people to serve them? Who are you in being so receptive to what other people are telling you that are helping you to achieve maybe your highest goal? Going through your journey step by step, like being comfortable in your own skin. It's hard for people.
It is.
What do you think on the subject?
It's extremely difficult to be comfortable in your own skin. Every single one of us battles with that question all the time. Am I happy with how I look or how but we think it's external, but it's truly internal as well. Because, I know plenty of men and people that have dated beautiful. I mean, you date for certain things, but then you realize like, wow, they're really negative or they're really, low, and people are not, they're not comfortable in their skin, right? So it's not just an external thing like, okay, you go to the gym every single week. Like, how's your mental health? How's your spirit?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is the most important part about what makes you comfortable in your own skin. It's not the exterior, but the internal.
Well,
and the work that you do internally, people will be able to see. We get this a lot. Where you're like, oh, you're light, you're happy, you're vibrating, you're this. It's like, I didn't wake up like pissing rainbows and sunshine. Like, I've worked my ass off for years on myself, inner-wise, to be able to just be comfortable in who I am. I am heavily tattooed. I don't know, I probably have like over 40 hours of like tattoo work on my body.
Oh, it's more than 40
I don't even know
it's
anymore.
More than 40. It's going to be over 100.
I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Also, big shout out to the tattoo artists that I work with. I love you, appreciate you for sharing your art with me. But truly, you've also helped me become comfortable in my own skin, making me realize that, something that might be quote unquote permanent on your body, it doesn't matter. If this is something that you want to do for yourself and you like this and you want to do it, do it.
Absolutely.
And that's part of FDI. It's part of fucking doing it and taking over your own life.
And having no judgment from others. That's what one of the things that we're definitely bringing to this platform is not worrying about what other people think about you, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We think, I read this, and I'm going to hopefully get my quotation right here. Let's see if I can do it. Research says that, quote unquote, research says that what you think somebody else is thinking about you isn't even what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So psychology, all in our brain, I'm so intrigued by the brain. Your gut is your second brain, but your brain, if you think about it, what are you feeding your brain with the people you're hanging out with, what you're reading, what you're doing, just what you're putting in your body as far as food and drinking and whatever. What are you doing, guys? You want to have like the most, here, I heard this one time. If you had a Porsche, would you put the cheapest gas in it? Absolutely not.
No.
It's premium.
Yeah.
Right? Or Supreme. I don't know. I always go for regular because I still have a Toyota RAV, but still, whatever.
Premium.
Yeah, whatever you can put in. You can put the highest gas in there because you want that engine to run.
Yes.
You want your brain to run. There's 4 quadrants, and I teach this to clients. Your physical, your spiritual, your physical, your mental, your emotional health. If one of those 4 quadrants is slightly off, think of it as a pie, and they're each a quarter. So if you got more going on here or less going here, we're not always going to be 100% balanced, but you want to find yourself in balance, and you want to find yourself with no judgment of yourself being in your own skin and no judgment of somebody else. If you're all tatted up, which I love because it's absolute artistry, and it's interesting because I look at you, I don't even see your tattoos.
I love that.
I just see your beautiful eyes and the person who you truly are. I don't even notice them. And when we're out, people are like,
don't touch me.
I have to be your bodyguard. Like, it's not petting zoo, okay? They're tattoos. It's like when you go to the finest art gallery, you don't touch the artwork. It's, been from the 1800s. Don't touch it. But it's like with you, I don't even see your tattoos, but it's an expression of who you are in your journey, right? So no matter what people might think, I don't know. Does everyone ever think you're a biker chick? I mean, you don't look like one, but
sometimes.
Yeah. You can be a biker chick. I
can be a little ambiguous at times.
But good point. You are comfortable in your own skin because you don't give a fuck
what anybody else thinks.
You're doing your own thing, girl.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot to unpack on that, which I think we have to extend this particular topic.
Subject, yeah.
Yes, about being comfortable in your own skin. But the reality is, too, is if you don't like something, you do have the power to change it in some ways. Right? We all have the opportunity to become more healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And that's a part of being comfortable in your own skin.
And make your own choices. You have the choice. Like, if you're going to drink water,
decide
what water am I drinking? If I'm going to
fucking do it.
What kind of coffee, what kind of eggs am I going to eat?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about tacos again.
I know.
No, but seriously, we have the choices. We have the power within us. So thank everybody for being here. Do drop in the comments, like Alex said. We want feedback. We want to know like what your thoughts are and what some subject are that you want to, discuss with us. And just be bold, be brave, be confident in your own skin because you are beautiful just the way that you are. It's all within, not the outside, it's the inside.
I love it. Thank you all so much. We love and appreciate you and can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, peace and love.
Peace and love. Just fucking do it. Mwah.